Dzień dobry. Dzień dobry w ten niedzielny poranek. Witam Was serdecznie. Mam nadzieję, że bardzo dobrze się macie i że macie ochotę posłuchać do tego poranka, czy do Waszego porannego śniadania niedzielnego, czy to do kawy, naszych opowieści o Etiopii. Trochę osób się zapisało na to wydarzenie, więc mam nadzieję, że będzie ciekawie. Staraliśmy się bardzo ciekawie je dla Was przygotować i mamy nadzieję, że będzie Wam się ono podobało. Widzę, że kilka osób się podłączyło, więc na początek bardzo proszę te osoby, żeby dały krótki komentarz, że nas widzicie, że nas słyszycie. Widzę, że jest Edyta, Urszula. Dajcie proszę znać, że jest technicznie ok i będziemy wtedy zaczynać. Zobaczcie, jak na ekranie obok jest super pogoda, super słońce. Myślę, że tym osobom, które są w tym momencie w Polsce, może tego troszeczkę brakować, szczególnie dzisiaj, chociaż może jesteście w miejscach, gdzie świeci słońce, bo u nas nie. Joanna napisała też dzień dobry, dajcie znać, że jest wszystko ok technicznie. Jest ok, dzięki Edyta, super. Witam Was ponownie bardzo serdecznie w ten niedzielny poranek, powtórzę to jeszcze raz. Ja nazywam się Elwira Urbańczyk i reprezentuję firmę Make Break, w której zajmujemy się przygotowywaniem wyjazdów szytych na miarę. Są to wyjazdy kreatywne, zarówno dla osób indywidualnych, które chcą gdzieś pojechać, ale także wyjazdy typu incentive dla firm. Tworzymy różnego rodzaju eventy, konferencje, także w formule digital, może trochę bardziej profesjonalnie, że tak powiem, niż tutaj teraz widzicie, natomiast to też jest jakiegoś rodzaju namiastka. I dzisiaj kolejne spotkanie z cyklu wirtualnych podróży. Co to są wirtualne podróże? To tak krótko wstępem dla tych osób, które być może są z nami dzisiaj pierwszy raz. Jest to online'owe zwiedzanie świata. Z uwagi na to, że do wielu kierunków w tym momencie nie możemy się udać, nie możemy pojechać i ich zobaczyć, ponieważ są różne restrykcje. Natomiast akurat Etiopia nie znajduje się na tej liście, ale do tego jeszcze wrócimy. Postanowiliśmy, że będziemy zabierać Was w różne zakątki świata wirtualnie. Będziemy Wam opowiadać o tych miejscach, odpowiadać na Wasze pytania, pokazywać też kawałek tego miejsca, no bo chodzi o to, żeby zwiedzać troszeczkę ten kraj na żywo i dzięki temu mamy nadzieję, że jak już będziecie mogli swobodnie podróżować, albo nawet teraz wpiszecie sobie taki kraj na swoją listę, będziecie mieć więcej informacji o tym miejscu, no i przede wszystkim, że zachęcimy Was do tego, żebyście do takiego kraju pojechali. Myślę, że to wystarczająco w kwestii wstępu, a teraz chciałabym Wam przedstawić naszego dzisiejszego gościa, którego widzicie już na ekranie obok. Dzisiejsze spotkanie będzie w języku angielskim, ponieważ Mola jeszcze nie mówi po polsku, może za jakiś czas się nauczy, jak będzie miał dużo przyjezdnych turystów właśnie z naszego kraju. Także serdecznie Wam przedstawiam naszego gościa. Hello Mola, how are you?
I'm good, hi Nora. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you all. I don't speak Polish, but I could hear that you have been saying great things about Ethiopia, possibly about Addis, if I'm not mistaken.
I already said that you don't speak Polish yet, but maybe if you will get a lot of tourists from Poland, you will start speak Polish, maybe just a little.
Absolutely, and at least we have really good guides who can speak Polish. That's the main thing.
Please introduce yourself and say something about you and where you are now and what you will show us during this meeting.
Great. Good morning again. It's me, Mola, from Ethiopia. Ethiopia, called the land of origins. Today, I am here positioning myself by the Victory Monument. That is really the main center of the town. The Victory Monument is where we will go to the history later. So today, thank you very much again for inviting me. Today we are going to see Addis Ababa, which is called the new, which in Amharic is the new flower. So we will be driving around the city, and in which you will have a chance to go into the site itself. So that will be our tour today. So mainly it's a virtual tour, and we will see the main destinations in Addis Ababa.
And you live in the capital city, yeah?
Exactly. So Addis Ababa, yes, that's right. It's not only the capital city of Ethiopia. We say Addis Ababa is the capital, the diplomatic city of Africa because of the huge number of international communities, including about 120 embassies, United Nations for Africa, African and Europe.
Oh, we don't hear you now. Hello, hello, Mola. Oh, we
Hello,
didn't
can you
hear.
hear me?
Yeah, now we hear you.
Okay,
I
perfect.
think that
So
somebody was calling to you, and maybe this is the reason.
exactly, you know it. Yeah, I'm sorry for that. Yeah, so it's not only the capital city of Ethiopia, it is the capital city of Africa. We say. Yeah.
Can you say general some facts about Ethiopia, about Ethiopian people, and some general information that you would like to share with us about your country?
Thank you very much. And if the facts are too much, and if the facts are really very positive, please don't be surprised. That's really the fact is the fact. So Ethiopia is called, as I said earlier, the land of origins because Ethiopia is the origin of coffee. Ethiopia is the origin of humankind. You know, the oldest human skeleton in the world is found in Ethiopia, which unfortunately we cannot see the National Museum today, where Lucy is found. So we are the land of, or Ethiopia, the land of origins. That means all human beings are believed to be originated from Ethiopia and traveling to the world. And another one is the religious aspect of Ethiopia. Ethiopia is the first country to accept Christianity. Actually, the second country actually to accept Christianity. So Ethiopia has been named in the Bible. So we cannot say we are the origin of the Bible, but we have a part in the Bible as well. So because of this and other reasons, Ethiopia is called the land of origins. So Ethiopia, in terms of area size, is about 5 times bigger than the UK. We have 115 million people, and 150 million with very, very diverse a very diverse country in a way. We have over 80 different tribes. Different tribes, completely different to each other. So there are some darker colored faces, or I mean, in terms of the complexity of the society, in terms of the facial color and the culture in general, it is very, very diverse country. We have, in fact, 200 dialects. Yes, again, it's about the diversity. I just want to say. So when it comes to again, as we are talking today, as a destination for travelers, for incentive travel, for other kinds of trips, Ethiopia has also we have the biggest number of World Heritage Sites in Africa. That is, we have 9 World Heritage Sites. I think the second country to have is eight World Heritage Sites. So that is Egypt. So Ethiopia has really so much. And the diversity of Ethiopia in terms of topography, weather is also one thing I would like to mention for you right now. That is the hottest place on earth is also found in Ethiopia, in the Danakil Depression. Whereas we have also a landscape or a mountainous area, a highland area, which is about 4,600 meters above sea level. So you can see the diversity in between. So from the hottest place on earth, also actually minus 112 meters below sea level to 4,620 meters above sea level. And also in terms of, as I said, topography, we have the desert area and of course the mountainous area. So one way or another, Ethiopia is a very diverse country. And that's the fact that I can tell you. And of course, on our conversation as we travel, as we drive around the city, I'm sure more information will come up on our way. So we'll have more facts as well.
So 200 different dialects. So do you understand each other's if it's 200 different dialects, or there are some sample of words that you can communicate and it's not a problem, or it is a problem?
Yeah, so the thing is, for example, Amharic, which is also one of the oldest languages in Africa, in the world, with our own alphabet. So that's the official language of Ethiopia. So majority of the population speaks Amharic, and then with different, as I said, there are some what we call language with the same language family. For example, Amharic, which is widely spoken, and then Tigrinya, which is in the northern part of the country, and in Gurage region, which are kind of a Semitic language family, like the Hebrew. And then there are also other language families like Omotic and Nilo-Saharan and so forth. So for these language families, for example, out of 200 dialects, maybe some Amharic related language could be 5. And then so this language can somewhat become here. It's like speaking Italian and Spanish, or German and English. So we have this kind of language. At the same time, they are completely different languages as well. So that we never understand. So in terms of alphabet, in terms of the word structure, sentence structure, everything is complicated and completely different. So
that's interesting. And you can say that, because you say that, as I understood, that a lot of people from different countries will live in Ethiopia, and this is why you can say that Ethiopia is multicultural.
Well, that is one aspect of it. So one aspect about the fact that Addis is an international city is it brings a certain diversity. So there are so many expats who call them. But when we say diversity in general, it could be about the local culture, the local lifestyles of from different parts of the region. But in fact, as I said, nearly 120 countries have their embassies. So you can imagine that the kind of diversity we have as well in Addis, also in major cities. So that really brought a certain level of understanding, I can say. So the diversity, when you say it's more diversity for Addis, is about, it can be the expats as well as the people from all over the country. Of course, when you travel outside Addis, then the number of expats may be not so much, but of course the diversity of the country remains as it is.
So the Ethiopians need to be open for the different countries from different thinking, I can say. That you are very open, I think, if the diversity is so big.
Exactly. So it is not that I'm Ethiopian, but in fact that is again the reality. And we, as you said, I don't know. I don't know any country which has no really an embassy here. So, for example, there are bazaars being prepared every once in a while, and so there is this interaction really. Ethiopians, I can say, we are very open, and also most importantly, when we say open-minded, I think it's better to say very welcoming and friendly. And one thing I missed to say earlier when I talked about Ethiopia is that Ethiopia has never been colonized, and in that case, this the what you call the culture we have remains intact. At the same time, people are also very welcoming and friendly in a way. And if you ask me one thing, I'm really proud about being an Ethiopian. It is the people and how friendly people are in general whenever you travel across the country.
That's amazing what you say, that you are really proud that you are Ethiopian. But this is the same what I heard about the Ethiopians, about the Ethiopia, that it's very open country for the different people, that the people are very friendly, they are helpful. And when you will go there, you will feel that maybe that you are kind of in home, but if you need some help, the people will help you. So this is what I heard. It's exactly what you said.
True. But in fact, for example, the way I see it in terms of friendliness is that if you go to a very, what you call, off the beaten track and you meet somebody, for me, I think the impression starts from how friendly and smiling people are and very keen to help and to assist as well. And I think that's how I see it really. So if you go and if you ask a stranger down here, if somebody comes here and if I ask him something, you can see from the smile and the readiness you see from there. And that's how I see it from the smaller ones. But of course, when it becomes to a very complicated topic and issue, still this friendliness and being open-minded still comes in.
Please say which year is now in Ethiopia, because maybe not everybody knows that in Ethiopia is a different year than now. Can you say something about that? It was really surprise for me as well.
I think we are coming into a very complicated thing now. It starts with the time. We have 12 hours a day, 12 hours in the evening. So right now I will tell you it's 6 a.m. So in fact it's 12 p.m. right?
Yeah.
And in terms of year, right now we are in the year 2013, and in the month of the 6th month. So we celebrate our new year, September 11th. And so we are in the year. So usually, so people in general say, when you come to Ethiopia, you will be 7 years younger because we are 7 years behind. So we are very. I'm talking about, for example, the calendar and alphabet. I hope I will be lucky enough to show you how our alphabet looks like. I can see.
We don't see you now.
You can see. Oh, you cannot see me. I'm sorry.
No, we hear your voice, but we don't see you.
Okay, can you see me now?
Now you come back. Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to show you. Just 1 second, please. Sorry for the. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Look, for example, look how post is written. So you can see also down there, ethiopostal.com, then you can see how alphabets are written.
Mm-hmm.
So the alphabet in the calendar, it's somewhat, yes, that makes us very distinctive in a way. So I just want to, as we are talking about the calendar, I just want to show you how our alphabet looks like. Some say strange, it feels strange, of course, it's very different. Yes.
Yeah.
So can you hear me now?
Yeah, we see you, yeah.
Can you see me? Perfect. Okay. Yeah, so we are in the year 2013 and on the 6th month of the year.
That's really funny that you can say that you are 7 years younger than we.
Please come so you'll be younger.
Yeah, we can come to Ethiopia to go to the past. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Can you say something general about the city where you are living, and what are the interesting places that is worth to see when we come to Addis Ababa?
Come again?
Can you say something about your city, about what we can see there, what we can visit when we come to the capital of Ethiopia?
Okay. So as I talk about our city, the capital city of Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, which is about 129 years now since its establishment. So it's called New Flower. So I think nowadays the city is living up to its name, being the New Flower. You will see quite a lot of developments. As we are talking about the city tours we do, normally if you come before 2019, you would see the National Museum, which is the house of Lucy, which is the oldest human skeleton. And then you will see Zoological Museum, which is also tells about the highlights of Ethiopia and the lifestyle in general of from different parts of the country. And then you will see the Trinity Cathedral, which also we'll see today. And then, okay, we will drive through the old part of the city and the new part of the city, but that's it. But now, as we are just talking now, there are 3 mega sightseeing inaugurated in the country, or in Addis mainly. That is the Unity Park, which used to be a former palace, and there's an amazing zoo, and also there's a village called Ethiopian Village inside that park, and then there's also called Friendship Square, again, kind of open space for recreational purpose, at the same time for what they call orchestras and live music stations, and it's really beautiful, green and amazing. And also actually Addis is surrounded by mountain chains. So in one part of the mountain, about 2,600 meters above sea level, there is a mountain chain called Mtoto Mountain. In that area again, there is a huge park open, including cable cars, amazing high-class restaurants, cafes, and so many activities, including horse riding. Really, I cannot name it. So there is also one new addition now, which is really, which is ready now when the travel is back
Mm-hmm.
again. So we will see, in fact, we will not see these places, but today what we will do is we will start the trip, of course, the tour from here, which is the victory for Ethiopians. I think talking about victory and proud is it's something that you will have in everyday conversations with any Ethiopian. So that's the main reason I'm starting today from the Victory Monument. That is, the Italians came back again for the second time. For the first time, there was a war called the Battle of Adwa, which we'll see later. At the Battle of Adwa, Ethiopians won. So that was the reason that Ethiopia was saved from colonization. And the second time, 1940s, again, the Italians came back. And of course, after a brief time here in Ethiopia for about 4 years, and without any proper administration like you would see in other countries, then they were the war was won. So this monument was set or inaugurated by Emperor Haile Selassie. So
Mm-hmm.
we will start our trip from here, and then we'll continue again to it's called the Cathedral's Memorial again monument. So we'll drive through, and then we'll drive to Trinity Cathedral, which is one of the most beautiful churches in Addis as well, where influential people there, what we call the cemetery of influential people is found, and of course the church is really beautiful as well. I'm not sure if we are lucky enough to go inside today, but we will drive through, and then we will drive through the old part of the city, and then we'll have some break there, and we'll explain some beautiful sightings as well, really nice view, and then we will go to the new part of the city, the financial district. We'll drive through, and then we will come to a nice hotel, which I will not tell you the name and also how it looks like, but we will possibly finish our trip there today. So this is more or less what I can say about Addis. If you have questions for me before I leave this place, please ask me. Otherwise, we need to move into the next destination.
So how many days general for Addis Ababa we should reserve to see these places that you will recommend?
Well, a minimum of 1 day, a minimum of 1 day. That is, usually people may want to travel outside Addis because those attractions may be what we call maybe preferred by majority of the travelers, but in fact a minimum of 1 day, and for average travelers, 2 days is really great. So one can see most of the attractions in Addis Ababa. So
Okay.
actually, most of the time, the first day of our trips in general starts from Addis, because Addis is found in about 2,400 meters above sea level, still really high in terms of, for example, I'm not sure about Warsaw, but
No,
usually,
we don't have this. We
yeah,
have this high in our mountains, so this you can compare. The cities are not on the high level. So yeah, this good that you
yeah.
say
So
that is good to start from the Addis Ababa to get used to the high level. Yeah.
exactly, yeah, that's the main idea really. One, after let's say 7 or 8 hours flight from Europe to Addis, then one can have a nice morning and then do the city tour. So main thing is that our clients will be able to rest, and then they will also acclimatize themselves for the highland, because especially if the trip includes the Semi mountain, which we have talked earlier about 4,006 meters above sea level, then it will be a good opportunity to acclimatize themselves. So that's the main reason.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now you want to move to the second point of our virtual trip today.
Exactly. For a while, we will be just driving around, just looking around. I will explain a few things on our way, on the left and right side of the road. And of course, in between, if you have any questions, of course, you can always ask, and then we will do that.
Okay, let's start. We can discuss during your travel as well, yeah?
Exactly. Or if you want, then I can show you. Let me put my camera from the other side, and then you can also
Okay,
part of my short walk.
okay.
Oops, sorry.
No problem. It's, technical things that we used to that sometimes
Yeah,
it's not working. Now we see what is behind your phone, so it's good.
exactly. So you can see as we walk through, then I can also set up my gear for the next trip. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this area is actually we call it an intellectual area where because there are so many universities and colleges in Addis, and most of them are found in this area. So if you walk around, there are really beautiful coffee shops, and most importantly, Ethiopia has, we say, abundant fruits, and for that reason, you will see quite a lot of juice bars in the area, and you will see, especially on Sundays, you will see people reading books and reading newspapers and magazines and having the social discussions really in general. So this is one of my favorite area actually. And also the Ministry of Education is here, which I haven't showed you earlier, which was my background for some time. This blue painted building is the Ministry of Education. So everything is about academics and intellectuals.
And weather. I see that you have beautiful weather. And please say us which part of the year we should choose Ethiopia or its whole year destination.
Well, in fact, Ethiopia can be visited throughout the year, unless you have a chance to go to the Danakil Depression, which may be too hot because if it's after April, the area will be too hot, or unless people would like to go to the Semi Mountain area, the Semi Mountain, because Semi Mountain is about the beautiful scenery and the beautiful fauna and flora it has. So during the rainy season, it may be foggy, so clients will know or travelers will not be able to experience that beauty. Otherwise, Ethiopia can be really visited throughout the year. But if we have to choose because of festivals, choose because of the what you call because of the holidays in the what you call the land of the origins of the travelers, such as Europe. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Everything is fine.
Hello.
Yeah, we hear
Great.
you.
Okay. So yes, and then in that case, because usually in winter people may have holidays. So for that reason, in traditionally we say high season is from September to March. But in fact, as I said, Ethiopia can be visited throughout the year with special or with some exceptions, such as Semi Mountain and then active depression.
Okay. And so if it's 12 months...
Okay, I'm coming to my car.
Okay.
Come again?
So if it's 12 months destination, now we can come to Ethiopia. Ethiopia is open for the tourists.
You mean this time, right?
Yeah, now.
Of course, now is actually part of the high season. Sorry, I'm setting up my camera again.
Yeah.
1 second.
It's good. Now we see you.
Perfect. Okay. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Sorry, because I didn't come with my colleagues. Today is kind of a partial holiday because we are going to have a fasting season for about 55 days, which is Lent. So because of that, it's kind of a partial holiday.
So he has a holiday today, so he rests. But thank you, because I know that you are a very busy person.
It's a pleasure. It is indeed.
So I appreciate that you find time. Sorry.
It's indeed a pleasure to be able to take you through my city. And of course, next time the plan was, of course, to invite some tour guides as well, who are, of course, the experts in terms of explaining, the city and everything. And so But in fact, as I said, one, we thought it could be kind of an introduction for today. And two, because of the holiday, we thought they will need to have some break.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I said I don't know if you heard me, that we really appreciate that you find time for us, because I know that you are so busy, because in Ethiopia now is you said the travel show, so you are occupied almost 24 hours a day.
Yes, it's the show. I think you have attended that as well, which is a virtual show, of course. But in fact, as I said earlier, it's really a great honor. It's also a great opportunity for us to show how our city looks like.
Mm.
So I take it as an opportunity, and thank you for the opportunity. I hope you and the audience is enjoying the tour. That's the main thing, I believe.
Yeah. So now Ethiopia is open for tourists. So what we need to have to entrance the country?
So since October, our borders have been opened with a strict COVID protocol introduced by the government or the tourism board. And since then, only a PCR test certificate taken within 5 days is required to enter the country. And then one can travel anywhere in the country. And as I said earlier, I know that quite a lot of people would be concerned now about traveling. But in fact, we as a company also, as you know, as we have seen last time, that we have also introduced strict protocols in our cars and with our staff. We have given training. So actually, we are having a few clients the next few days.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so say generally, for example, if we have 2 weeks for travel to Ethiopia, which places we should choose?
Okay, normally, as you know, I know also that you do, most of our trips are tailor-made, right? So
Yeah.
it depends on the interest of majority of our clients. But if we must choose for our clients, then we say for 2 weeks, we suggest that they go to the northern part. That is starting from Bahada, which is the capital city of Amhara region, and also which is the house of Lake Tana, which is the source of the Nile. And in that lake, there are over 37 monasteries, and out of them, of course, we cannot see most of them. So these monasteries are historically significant for the country, and also most important for Christianity. So clients will be able to see those monasteries and in Lake Tana and Bahada. And that we continue to the north, about 100 kilometers north, which is called Gondar. It is again 17th century capital city of Ethiopia, beautiful palaces. And then we further continue to Simi Mountain, which is called the Grand Canyon of Africa, because it's beautiful scenery. And also, which we talked about earlier about the highland, how high the mountain is, and of course, they have beautiful, really very unique wildlife in that national park. Again, when I talk about the national park, out of the first 12 World Heritage Sites registered by UNESCO, two of them were Ethiopians, and one of them was the Seven Mountain National Park. So you can understand how significant it is for the world in terms of the vegetation, in terms of the fauna, flora, and also the ecosystem in general. So people would be able to see that. Again, further we drive to Aksum, which is again a prehistoric site, which is, Ethiopia is, as I said earlier, Ethiopia is one of the oldest nations in the world. And our history, some say 3,000, some say 5,000, but at least we can talk about Aksum, which is Aksum obelisks, which were built in 800 BC. So we see Aksum again. Aksum, when we talked earlier, I was again mentioning about Christianity. So the original of the covenant where the Ten Commandments are written on, which was given or handed over by Moses, is believed to be an Aksum. So Aksum is also very significant in terms of history and in terms of Christianity as well. And then, of course, the famous Lalibela, which is the eighth wonder of the world, beautiful rock-hewn church made of single rocks. There are over 44 churches across the country, but the what I call the it is kind of a landmark for Ethiopia. If you see the map of Ethiopia, or if you see or if you by any case, if we talk about Ethiopia, it has become a landmark for Ethiopia, which is Saint George Road Church in Lalibela. And this will take between 8 to 12 days, depending on the interest, whether we would like to do it all by car or mixed with some destinations using planes and some by car. So between 8 to 12 days. And including Aditan, it becomes nearly 2 weeks. That is the main. Usually, first time travelers to Ethiopia, we like to go to the northern part. And then the southern part of Omobile is again a beautiful area, which I have seen on the introduction actually on your post. I have seen that's the Omobile. So usually, for those who are really keen to see as much as possible in just 2 weeks, both the northern part and the southern part, including the Omobile, can be arranged with, as I said, mixing land arrangement and flights in between. So, just to summarize it, for between to 12 hours, sorry, between 8 to 12 days, in a very relaxed manner, one can see the northern part, all by car. Or if one is very time conscious, or if people have no time to do a proper 3 weeks trip, both the northern and the southern part, one can also organize, or one can visit the south and the northern part just in 2 weeks, but not all by car, but some parts by car and some parts using planes. So now, as we drive further, it's also we will see two things. One is it is again a memorial for thousands of people killed in the 1940s during the Italian occupation for a brief time, which I have explained a little bit earlier. So this monument is also significant, really. But further, as we pass through this, we will see Sadiskilo University, which is to be one of the prestigious universities in Africa. Um, yes, it's crowded, but in just a minute we will be there.
And you recommend the same places?
So by the way,
you recommend the same places?
Come again, by the way,
you hear me?
Sorry, go ahead.
You recommend?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. Do you recommend the same places which you already mentioned for the people who travel with children?
For those who travel with children, as I said, the northern part is usually much better in terms of infrastructure as well. Having nice, relatively better hotels and great roads and transport in general. But as I say, mostly it depends on which area they want focus. But in general, we will more suggest for families with children, Semen Mountain, because the Jalada Babu is beautiful, very what I call very friendly animals, and then Lake Tana area, which is more about the monasteries, and also the boat ride and kayaking, and also very nice tropical kind of weather, as well as very beautiful hotels and resorts. And then, well, Addis, well, 1 or 2 days. And then the Great Rift Valley, as you know, which is a long stretch of a landmass starting from the Dead Sea, going all over to Mozambique. So it crosses across about 100 kilometers south of Addis. You will see this. You will cross, or you will find this part of the Great Rift Valley area. So in this area, there are also beautiful national parks and nice areas for sunbathing, kayaking, hiking, horse riding, and so forth. So we suggest actually the Simen Mountain, Bahada, and the Great Rift Valley.
Hello, hello. Do you hear me? Because I think you lost the connection for some time. I hope that will come again. Maybe you are in the area that's problem with internet. Mola, do you hear me? Mam nadzieję, że Mola za chwilę wróci, ponieważ tak jak wiecie, chce nam pokazać jeszcze parę miejsc w swoim mieście, w Addis Abeba. Nie wiem, czy Was też zaskoczyła ta informacja, że w Etiopii jest troszeczkę inny rok niż teraz jest u nas. Są 7 lat jakby wstecz, czyli podróżując do Etiopii można powiedzieć, że cofniecie się w czasie, co jest bardzo ciekawe i jeżeli chcecie pojechać na imprezę sylwestrową, no to 11 września to jest ten moment, kiedy oni obchodzą Sylwestra, co też myślę, że jest dosyć ciekawym faktem. Widzę, że Mole odłączyło w ogóle od naszej transmisji, więc mu szybko napiszę, żeby po prostu jeszcze raz otworzył tego linka. Myślę, że stracił gdzieś tam łączność internetową. Okej. Myślę, że stracił gdzieś łączność internetową. Edyta pisze, że podoba mi się, że jest miejsce, gdzie można być młodszą, prawda? I to 7 lat, więc w ogóle to jest coś nieprawdopodobnego. I oni oprócz tego, że używają oczywiście innych liter, innego alfabetu, to właśnie korzystają z innego kalendarza i stąd jest ta różnica w czasie pomiędzy nami i pomiędzy Etiopią. Jeżeli macie jakieś pytania, jak tylko Mola do nas wróci, to dajcie znać na czacie, ponieważ on ma dużą wiedzę o tym kraju, zajmuje się turystyką od bardzo długo, no i też tam mieszka, więc ma dużo informacji, więc jeżeli będziecie chcieli o coś się jeszcze szczegółowo dopytać, to dajcie proszę znać. Tak samo powiedziałam, jadę i jestem 7 lat młodsza, dokładnie, więc jeżeli chcecie się odmłodzić, to Etiopia to jest to miejsce. Tym bardziej, że jest od października zeszłego roku dostępne dla turystów już w tym momencie, tak jak do wielu krajów, które obecnie możecie odwiedzić, potrzebny jest test PCR na 5 dni przed i generalnie Etiopia jest otwarta i możecie po niej podróżować. Także spokojnie możecie sobie zaplanować jakoś czas. Mam wrażenie, że jakoś chyba gdzieś Mola zgubił ten internet, bo moje wiadomości też do niego nie dochodzą, więc nie wiem, czy uda nam się tu wrócić, przynajmniej jemu, a chciałam, żeby Wam pokazał, on naprawdę zaplanował super podróż w ciągu dzisiejszego dnia, żeby Wam pokazać kilka punktów w Addis Abeba, które warto zobaczyć, stąd też ten pomysł, żeby przejechać autem. Widzę, że wrócił. You're back!
Yes, I'm back. Unfortunately, it was too hot for my car. For my mobile. So it has to be cooled down. It's sad, but we can talk like this.
Yeah, I'm happy that you came back. The people say it our audience say that they are happy that they can go somewhere when they will go to the past 7 years and they can be younger. And Zbyszek wrote that don't forget about Dankali Desert with Erta Alea Volcano. That is beautiful area and worth to visit the place.
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. My headset is connected, so I'm really sorry for the inconvenience.
Now we don't hear you well, and we don't see anything.
Okay, can you hear now?
Yeah, now we hear you good, but we don't see you. Now it's fine.
Okay, so yes, how about you?
We see the view, we hear you now.
Right, okay. Yes, I'm sorry for it. Right.
Do you remember when you end and what
So,
you
sorry,
would
one
like to?
question. I'm really sorry, I missed you.
So now you can continue what you were saying before. We were talking about the places for the families with children. So you say that north is a better part with the better roads and nice hotels with the facilities for children. So you would like to
Yes.
recommend other places as well for the families with children?
Yes, that's right. So I was talking that one, the Semen Mountain National Park, because they are good, very nice lodges. Another one is that they're really friendly animals such as the gelada baboons, and then Bahadar, the Lake Tana area with boat rides and beautiful lakeside resorts, and also with swimming pool facilities and all that. So Bahadar is second best place. And then another one is, of course, Lalibela in terms of the church, but more than the church, there are kind of beautiful landscapes for a short hiking, 1 to 3 hours, and then mixing with the church possibly. That is another suggestion. And the Great Rift Valley area where there are really nice national parks with the possibility of interacting with ostriches, antelopes, and so forth. But another one, there are also activities such as for horse riding, biking, and sunbathing, kayaking in the area. So we recommend these four places, and of course other places as well. And as I said, every client has its own interest, and this is just for if we have to choose for our clients, we would suggest those places depending again the time. If we have more time, let's say 3 weeks, destinations such as Long Valley can be still interesting for quite a lot of people. So by the way, here is the National Museum. We are just driving on our right side.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we cannot go into the National Museum now because it's closed for today. So this museum is where Lucy is found, the oldest human skeleton, which we said that we all human beings originated from Ethiopia, and Lucy is the proof for that.
Mm-hmm. Zbyszek asked about one thing, that he wrote that 7 years ago in Addis Ababa was a lot of places that you built a new building, and he's asking if it's continue now or the buildings are already done. And he's asking also
The new
about the...
building.
You hear me, what I am asking?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. And the second, his question is about the road to Djibouti. The road was
Yes.
quite not good, and he's asking if it's something changed.
Yes, I think when was the last time he saw? I don't know, but in fact, when it
7
comes to
years
the
ago.
construction sites, we are still on 7 years ago. Wow. So if 7 years ago, there are so many changes. And in terms of construction sites, yes, this looks as if everything had been demolished and been constructed. It looks like that still now, but in fact, there are so many buildings we should see later. There are so many buildings still under construction, but those which you have seen probably are completed, which we will see later. And for you, surprise in Addis, just out of nowhere, you will see a building popping up. And if you go to an area, let's say 6 or 7 months ago, and then if you go after 7 months ago, you'll be surprised because a building has been started and been completed. But of course, that may not be the case all the time. And when we talk about the road to Djibouti, I'm sure you have seen the expressway starting from Addis to Adama. Then now from Bridor to Djibouti, there is an expressway, and there is another road being already completed, which connects Port of Tajura with Samara. And just as we talk about construction site, you can see construction is going on now even here on our right side. So there's huge construction site everywhere still. So just to come back to your question, even look all the way, even as we drive into the Trinity Cathedral, you will see construction sites on the left and right side. This is the or what do you call the parliament seat, where the parliament meets, and you can also see construction sites everywhere. I will show you also a little bit earlier. You can see here, probably if you have been to the Trinity Cathedral, well, there was no construction at the time, but there are so many constructions everywhere, and they are being completed also at the same time.
And what is the when we want to come to Ethiopia and see a lot of places, we should rent a car with driver, without driver, or there is a different option for travel inside the country? What you will recommend?
Yes, that is right. So we have usually, as you know, we give options. One is with driver, and one can arrange his own hotel. Usually, it may not be so easy. Another is, everything organized as a package, including the drivers and hotels, entrance, local guides, and everything. But we never recommend people to drive in Ethiopia, and the possibilities are so minimal because self-drive is not so common. At the same time, the roads are not well marked, so it is not really easy to drive in Ethiopia. It is not that the roads are very bad, because as I said earlier, there are places which are very difficult as well, which the road condition may not be good. Most of the places which I was mentioning, mainly in the northern part and Omo Valley, most of the areas have good roads nowadays, but driving is not really easy.
So you would recommend rent a car with a driver, not without the driver, yeah?
Yes, with the driver.
But for example, for the people that they can say,
So
we already been in Namibia, we already been in Zimbabwe. For example, what you recommend for the people who will say that we already been in Namibia or Zimbabwe and we self-drive the car, so Ethiopia will be similar, or the roads will be harder for them, and this is why we recommend rent a car with driver.
It is completely different to Namibia and other places. One, it is the road condition nowadays is not bad. It's being improved time and time. But it's about being well signposted. The directions of the signposts are not that well properly put. That is one problem. Another one is that self-drive is not so common here.
I see.
It's not just common in the market. So we are inside the cathedral, the Trinity Cathedral Church. You can see that the priest speaking behind us.
Hello. We lost you. We lost you. Do you hear me? Może słuchajcie, znowu jest problem, że telefon twierdzi, że jest za ciepło. Hello, do you hear me now? Mola? Albo internet, albo ta pogoda. Moglibyśmy pozazdrościć temperatury, że telefon odpowiada na to, że jest za ciepło i on nie będzie funkcjonował prawidłowo. Hello, do you hear me, Mola? Albo może jakieś uroczystości są w tej katedrze i nas zakłócają. Hello, do you hear me, Mola, now? We don't hear you. It's very loud. Yeah, but it's very loud and we don't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now? Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear, but it's very loud. We don't hear what you say. We say the things from cathedral.
Okay, I think yes. Unfortunately, we are in the church, so we have to
Yeah.
leave. I think so you can hear me.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look.
Hello,
Funeral,
can
is
you hear
it?
me?
Yeah, funeral, isn't it?
See, no, it's
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we hear everything.
great. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, so you can ask me a question now. I think it's over. The service is over.
Mm-hmm. It was a
So
funeral, isn't
this
it?
church is it is a funeral. Yes, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The church service. If we came 2 hours ago, we could have seen.
Hello, now we don't hear.
Churchgoers with. Hello, can you
Hello,
hear me now?
you. Yeah, now it's okay.
Yes, can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry, there was a
now it's
call
good.
coming in. So we would have seen priests, deacons, and also churchgoers with Ethiopian traditional clothes. If we came earlier, so we can always do next time. Um,
It's very old church, isn't it?
it is very very old church, and also if you would say um, Windsor. Castle,
Oh, we lost you. Do you hear me? Or you lost your internet connection, or the phone say one more time, no, I am not working. Mola, do you hear me?
You can send some videos and you can share maybe videos and photos later on your Facebook, or so people will have an idea how the church inside looks
Okay.
like. It's
Yeah.
really stunning and beautiful church.
Yeah, it looks very nice from the outside as well.
Okay, so then now we will drive further into the old part of the city. So until then, if you have any question that I should explain, please let me know.
Okay, and how far is the city, old part of the city, from this part?
Well, I hope it's not too crowded, but otherwise it is about 3 kilometers from here.
So it's
Usually it
not.
shouldn't take more than 5 minutes.
We
Or
already
if
have
you,
a meeting for 1 hour, but we had a problem with connection, so I think it's not a
yeah,
problem to stay a little bit longer.
correct. That would be nice.
Yeah.
It will be incomplete without going to the old part of the city.
Yeah, I can imagine. We should go there. So
Okay.
in the meantime, I would like to ask you about the local cuisine. So what are the meals that it's needed to try when we will be in Ethiopia? For sure, I think it should be a coffee. Maybe it's not a meal, but a drink, because
Well,
as you know, the Ethiopian coffee is well known on the world. That is one of the best one.
that's right, and we say we are the origin of coffee. And the coffee came from a place called Kaffa in the southwest part of the country. As I said, coffee is, well, anywhere you go, you will be offered coffee. So coffee is very important. More than the coffee, the ceremony is also very important.
Yeah.
The coffee ceremony, call it is where social, political, any agenda will be brought into a conversation, and it is very important for the social life. It's very important, really very important aspect of our society. And as you said, when it comes to food, Ethiopia has also very distinctive, very colorful um, uh, cuisine. The most important one is called injera, which is like a flat bread, or um, I forgot the name.
Mm-hmm.
It's a flat bread kind of very. It's not so thick. It's very and on top there will be different sauce, sometimes over 10, 12, 15 types of sauce on top, and then it will be eaten using hands. It's very colorful, and also it's more vegetarian. Of course, we also like meat, but we have many vegetarian options as well. And this injera, the flatbread, is made of a tiny grain called teff, which is found only in Ethiopia, and it's also gluten free. So that's our table food. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, then all the regions have different, different cuisines, very different from different regions. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And the ritual, the coffee ritual is made only by women. Is it right?
Sorry, come again.
The ritual of prepare the coffee, Ethiopian coffee, is made only by women.
Yes, that's right. Well, I mean the traditional one. So, as I said, it's not a coffee; it's a ceremony. The ceremony, the coffee maker will dress in traditional clothes, and so it will be by women only. Sorry for the distraction. It looks our way to the old part of the city looks very crowded. So what we can do is I would say that we go into the modern part of the city,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can continue to the old part of the city later if we still have time. So well, as I'm driving, you can also explain what we can expect in the old part of the city. That is more of very old buildings, and most importantly, there's gold and jewelry shops in the area. Hundreds of them, from close to each other, very small but beautifully decorated shops. And of course, we would have seen the first hotel in Ethiopia. It's called Taitu Hotel. Yeah, we could have seen that as the first hotel in the area, and also the first coffee shop. So let's hope that we are lucky enough to make it there in time, because it will take us at least 40 minutes to go there. Now I can see it's very crowded. So now we are driving through the modern part of the city, including the National Palace. And earlier I was explaining about the new museum which was open. We cannot go in, but I will show you as we drive nearby.
Mm-hmm. And what about the other meals that it should to be tried when we travel to Ethiopia? You eat a lot of meat?
We eat a lot of meat, and there's one kind of food called kitfo, which is like the French tartare. So, but the different sauce, of course, with this it's minced meat with with a little bit of fresh cheese on top, and with injera. That is also the favorite one. Raw meat is also eaten a lot, raw meat, but it may not be as easy for a first time eater. But I would recommend it for. So in front of us, we would see it's the National Palace. It is in this compound that the new park, which I told you about, it's called Unity Park. It used to be a national park. Still, the Prime Minister lives in here. There is a beautiful.
Oh, now the view and your voice is cut. I don't know, it's a problem with connection or one more time with your phone, and I don't know if you hear me. So Mola, let us know. Do you hear me? Szkoda, że dzisiaj jest taki problem.
Oh. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, now you back.
Okay, I'm really sorry, because in between I'm getting some direct calls. That's the main reason. So on my left side, which I will turn, you will see the modern part of Addis. It's called also the finance district. You will see it as we turn to the right. So we will drive into this area, right?
Yeah.
So the other one, which I told you earlier, is the Friendship Square. Is again very close here, which I hope again we'll see it another time. Now we are driving into the modern part of the city. One of our friends asked about the construction sites, whether they are still finished or it is still going. Now you can see that even new have already started. Look in front of us. Quite a lot of skyscrapers.
Very modern city. It looks from
very modern, well designed. And also here in front of us, just close here, you will see it's called Friendship Square, the one I told you about, where orchestras and live music would take place. It's all right in our right side. It is closed for today, but I will send you some really beautiful photos here from here as well, and it's really, really beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are driving into, as I said, to the modern part of the city. Maybe we'll come back to this road as well, just to finalize our day.
Okay. So in the meantime, Eva is asking about the safety when we travel to Ethiopia. What you can say about this?
Safety traveling. Safety in terms of terrorism, crime. Yeah. Ethiopia remains one of the safest countries in Africa. So the maximum that can happen, that is in Addis, is pickpocketing. So there is no I cannot say there is no, but the active, what you call violent crime, such as hanging or gunpoint or anything, it is really unheard of in Addis. And you should be very unlucky to face this kind of situation in Addis or in anywhere in the country. Also, in terms of terrorism, yes, Ethiopia remains one of the peaceful or the safest countries.
You know, I say that everywhere, if you will put a lot of jewelry, I don't know, some expensive things on you, and you go outside and you show it, something can happen, something bad can happen, even if you are in Poland. Yeah, so I think it's kind of the same with these things. As you said, you need to be unlucky to join to some, I don't know, some bad things. So as you said, I can say.
Yes. Well, as I said, if you are on the wrong time at the wrong place,
Yeah.
yes, it may happen. But usually, especially for travelers coming to Ethiopia for a few days,
You hear me? We lost you one more time. Ale dzisiaj nam szwankuje, mimo że my tu z Molą testowaliśmy to już jakiś czas temu i wszystko było ok. Testowaliśmy podczas właśnie tej wycieczki, którą was teraz zabieramy. Czasem tak jest, mam wrażenie, że jak im więcej osób się też podłącza do naszych wydarzeń, to idzie na live, to gdzieś tam ta technika się gubi i nie wiem, no Mola mówi, że też jego telefon nie bardzo dzisiaj polubił temperaturę i zawodzi. Ja czytam tu wasze komentarze i staram się na pytania, które tutaj padają, jeszcze Molę zapytać. Zbyszek tu potwierdza właśnie, że lepiej jest z kierowcą, że to naprawdę jest inny świat. Namibia, Botswana czy Zimbabwe to nie da się w ogóle porównać do Etiopii. Także potwierdzasz dokładnie to, co Mola powiedział, że jednak po Etiopii z uwagi na drogi lepiej jest podróżować z kierowcą. Zresztą tym bardziej jak będziecie jechać, nie wiem, z dziećmi, z rodziną, to czy na wyjazd firmowy, no to oczywiście jest jakby coś, co jest must. My zawsze oferujemy tak przy wyjazdach firmowych, ale jak pojedziecie prywatnie, to i Zbyszek i Mola potwierdza to, że jednak lepiej jest podróżować z kierowcą. Zbyszku, Mola wspominał o tych dialektach na samym początku, ale wiem, że są takie przerwy w tym jego głosie i można nie było tego zrozumieć dobrze. On wspominał o tym, że jest około 200 dialektów i ja się nawet wtedy pytałam, czy oni w ogóle się rozumieją w związku z tym między sobą. Powiedział, że są dialekty, które w ogóle on też nie jest w stanie zrozumieć, nie są w stanie porozumieć się. Natomiast faktycznie jest bardzo dużo, no może nie tyle języków, ale właśnie dialektów, bo języków jest oczywiście tam trochę mniej, które oni używają, że ciężko jest się zrozumieć wzajemnie. Anita też pisze, że na każdym rogu co kilka metrów stanowiska z kawą i mistrzostwo świata. Tak, to jest w ogóle fajne, żeby wziąć udział, no w zasadzie podpatrzeć ten cały rytuał parzenia kawy, bo kawa to jest jedno, to jest smak, ale ten cały rytuał, jak oni to przygotowują, to jest w ogóle niesamowite. Hello, again.
Sorry, what happened was because when my phone is on the sun, on the windscreen, then it becomes too hot, so it starts. So I will need to hold it on my hand, unfortunately.
It's amazing that the phone give you the information that sorry, Mola, is too hot. I will not work for you.
Yeah, too hot. Put me down, it says, yeah.
It's the same when it's too cold. I discussed with one girl from Finland about to do the live stream, and we are postponed this meeting for I think April, because now it's so cold that the battery, when she will be outside for even only for 1 hour, the phone will say, no, it's too cold, I will not work with you. So, but it's technical things, what we can do, yeah?
So can you see my screen now?
Yeah, we see your screen, we hear you well.
Okay.
So
great. So now we're driving into the financial district. So just close what we have seen from above. So on my right side, you will see quite a lot of new buildings. Right here, about, yeah, it's as I said, it's the financial district. And most of the buildings started about 2, 3 years ago. You can see here, hopefully you'll be able to see. You can see construction still going on.
Yeah. It will be
There is
really
this
more modern city than it is now.
exactly. So you would have seen this kind of small buildings if you came, let's say, 10 years ago. Just in this neighborhood, you would have seen this kind of these buildings right here.
Yeah.
But now those buildings are being knocked out, and these big buildings are popping up everywhere. Apartment complex, banks and restaurants. So cycling also you see sometimes. It's not as famous in other countries, but cycle lanes are being introduced as well.
Are there any festivals in your country that is worth to join them when we travel?
Yes, there are so many. As yeah, for yes, as a Christian dominant country, one the celebrations are, yeah, for the famous ones are Orthodox Christian celebrations, and of course Islamic festivals. So there's more, but not so famous as the Orthodox ones. So it starts, for example, if you come in September, you will see the findings of the true cross. Then Epiphany, Ethiopian Christmas lies in January. For example, we celebrate our Christmas on the 7th of January, and Epiphany or Timkat is celebrated on the 19th or 20th of January, depending on the year. And then again, Ethiopian sorry, the celebration in April. Um, yes, it's funny, I forgot the names. So we have so many celebrations. Of course, there are also cultural festivals. In the Omo Valley, you would see the bull jumping is the famous one when you go to Hama tribes. So there are many festivals. So that is also when people choose January or February for being a high season. It is because travelers would like to combine the usual destinations, the church and the monasteries and the mountains with the festivals. So January is for the festivals, and April also for the it's for Ethiopian Easter. April is for Ethiopian Easter.
And is it true that Addis Ababa Mercato is the biggest one in whole Africa?
That is right. And apology if I haven't offered it today, because it would take us, I don't know, hours to go into the market and to go out of the market. But in fact, Mercato is the biggest open market in Africa. So you will find everything in Mercato. Even Tom will joke, if you lose one pair of your shoes, you will find it in Mercato. So from metal scraps, plastics to anything you name it, you find it in Mercato. It's also very colorful, very crowded, but driving is impossible inside Mercato. So
Is it open every day?
yes, usually Sunday morning until Sunday mornings, it's open every day. But Sunday afternoon is because Sunday is a holiday, so shops and everything is closed. So Sunday afternoon, the market may be not as colorful as other days, but it's not completely closed on Sundays as well.
Okay. Now you are driving to the old part of the city?
Exactly, yes. So just in few hundred meters on the right side, you will see this famous landmark for Addis, the Lion of Judah. It is the Emperor Haile Selassie It's a symbol for Addis actually. It is found in front of the National Theatre. Here is the National Theatre. Unfortunately, it's covered with some.
Mhm.
Can you see this kind of a line behind the trees?
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, we cannot drive into that. But if you
Mhm.
see behind the trees, I just want to show you there is a lion statue. That is for the Lion of Judah.
Mm.
So right now we are just entering to the old part of the city. It's a bit crowded here. There's a big junction here. In front of me is the what I call the Ministry of Defense. You can see also the building is very old building.
Mhm.
Yeah, we are just stuck in traffic. So on my left side there is a beautiful, the first bank in Ethiopia. In terms of architecture, it's also very beautiful. I will show you as we drive through. It's
Mhm.
made the red light may stay for a while because it's a very big junction. So you have been asking me about the festivals,
Yeah.
and because some destinations are also associated with some festivals. For example, Lalibela is best known for its Rocky Church, but also it's best known for Christmas celebration on the 7th of January. You'll see this colorful, hundreds, thousands of people would travel to Lalibela. Some of them they walk. It's a pilgrimage. They walk for 2 weeks, 3 weeks from across the country, and they would be there to celebrate Christmas on the 7th of January. So if one plans to travel to Lalibela around January time, so Christmas or the church are bonuses. Usually the churches are there, they are visited throughout the year. So people may come to Lalibela for the Christmas celebration as well. And by the way,
Mhm.
this street, if you see all the way crossing, it's very long way, about 4 kilometers, you will see the municipality. And when this area was planned, very wide alleys, some kind of some say it is the Champs-Élysées of Addis because it's a very wide view from all the way from the municipality to the train station. By the way, the train station, which is also one of the oldest train stations in Africa, actually, uh, built on the 19th century. And recently, I've heard an amazing story about the train line which connects Djibouti, port of Djibouti, to Ethiopia. And they
Mhm.
say it is the first of its kind because the bond was sold at the New York Exchange as a kind of what do you call, yeah, the bond was sold so that this train could have been built, and an Ethiopian can travel anywhere in the world and can pay its currency because one Ethiopian dollar and one American dollar were nearly the same at the time. And the idea of selling bonds to the international community back in 1940s was very rare, really, especially for most African countries. And this story, it was really fascinating
Hmm.
how Ethiopia was really what it called how things were easy for Ethiopia. But now, for example, if you want to travel to anywhere, you need to fill up quite a lot of paperwork. But at the time, our passport was also very what it called very
Mhm.
powerful. Our currency was very powerful. But the train story is really fascinating me because the bonds were sold at the New York Exchange or at the New York Stock Exchange or New York stock market. And that was the first train line, or the first train line used to be built in Africa. So the one in front of us, the very big building at the back, maybe it may not be visible for you, all the way 5 kilometers, one can see the view is so open and wide. So that was the reason it's called the Champs-Élysées of Addis. but the Champs-Élysées of Ethiopia is this street. This is again, unfortunately, on the left and right side. The very old houses have been knocked down, and these big skyscrapers are popping up. But still, we will see some buildings from 100, 150 years old.
It's nice. Are you far from the old part of the city?
Nearly there, nearly there. It may take us about 3 minutes now. We may not drive through all the old part of the city. Maybe, for example, gold shops and everything. But I think we will drive through the oldest coffee, and then we will see the very old architecture, old houses. And then maybe we may need, if you are in hurry, maybe we may need to finish the tour for today.
Yeah.
If possible, I will take you to my final destination, which is the hotel, and I will not tell you the name of the hotel. But in fact, I would like to show you how it looks. Hopefully, it will give you an idea how an accommodation looks like in this kind of a luxury hotel. Actually.
Yeah.
But it will give you really an idea how it looks like. But it will take us about between 5 to 10 minutes, and we'll make it a bit quicker this time.
Yeah, it will be our longest virtual trip, but we had a problem with internet connection and with technical other things, so we would like to show you as much as is possible during the virtual visiting in Addis Ababa.
Yeah, that would be nice, and thank you very much for your patience. I'm really sorry for the technicalities, and if we do it again, I will have my crew and my colleagues and my staff, so everything will be in good order.
It's not your fault, it's happened. A lot of people now are using internet, and it's what is going on. Yeah, we are in different kind of reality, virtual reality. So even if we test before, it's really. It's not your fault.
For our friend who have asked about the road to Djibouti, apart from the two roads connecting Djibouti, just few hundred kilometers north of the Djibouti road, there is also a new road being constructed connecting Eritrean port of Assab to Ethiopia. So this is, by the way, this is
Oh, we lost you again. We don't hear you. And I see that the view is cut. Do you hear me, Mola? Mola, do you hear me? Tak wam, kochani, dziękuję za cierpliwość. W sumie jesteśmy tu 1,5 godziny, ale Mola chce wam wszystko pokazać, co jest możliwe do zobaczenia w Addis. Nawet nie wszystko, bo tak jak wspominało o tym markecie, który jest bardzo daleko i nawet byśmy nie zdążyli dojechać.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now yes.
Okay, sorry. I was talking about if you are really keen to see the oldest coffee shop, but in fact, I think
Wygląda na to, że w ogóle teraz Mole odłączyło. Nie wiem, szczerze mówiąc, czy wróci i nie wiem też, czy macie już cierpliwość, żeby jeszcze tutaj z nami trochę być, bo faktycznie już jesteśmy praktycznie 1,5 godziny i jeszcze nam się nie zdarzyło, żeby nasza wirtualna podróż tak długo trwała, bo zazwyczaj planujemy na godzinę. Jest to taki czas, że jesteśmy w stanie przykuć waszą uwagę w wirtualnej rzeczywistości. Natomiast nie wiem, czy macie też wrażenie, że nawet samo Addis jest bardzo ciekawe i warte zobaczenia. You come back.
Yes, I'm so sorry. So sorry again.
Okay, no problem.
I hope this will be the final one. Okay, so can you hear my camera now? Can you hear me? Can you see
Yes, we see and hear you.
Perfect. Okay. So yeah, we are driving through the old part of the city just in a minute, just to show you how the old buildings look like. And then we will finish our tour today. So look, this is the old, well, this is the old first post office. Can you see?
Yes.
You can see the architecture and that, yeah, it's 150, 100, sorry, not 150, about 110, 120 years old, these buildings.
Mm-hmm.
All the buildings you see in front of us are, yeah, the old part of Addis. A bit crowded, of course.
Mm-hmm. And this is the old part, yeah?
The old part, but on my right side, you can see we have droves. We drove all the way from down there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the old part is actually messy, not so clean, very crowded. Um, but also in terms of architecture, for some, it is very interesting. I cannot explain to you that, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly, I will invite some tour guides specializing in architecture and painting. So this is a very old part. So also, can you see one restaurant? It's called Castelli Restaurant. It's one of the best and most expensive restaurants here in this building.
Mm-hmm.
Inside is it's really beautiful people style. I've been there also once. We are driving to the old part of the city again, very crowded,
Yeah, it's crowded.
and so many what do you call business signposts and yeah, it's
But it's like normal, the old part of city is crowded, or it is because of Sunday and it's like, I don't know, more working day on the market, etc.
it's more of because people come here because there are really nice places to relax,
Mm-hmm.
including the oldest hotel you can see on my right side. We made it. This is the
Uh-huh.
first hotel, actually, the first and the oldest hotel. Maybe I would like to take you inside just for a minute. Maybe the connection may not be good if we go into the hotel, but let's try.
Okay.
Yeah, we shouldn't stay more than a minute here. I
It's
know that we're
look
holding our.
it's it looks like colonial hotel.
Yes, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it looks like a colonial building. That's right. But in
Mm-hmm.
fact, it was built by Emperor Menelik on the 19th century, and hotels were not so common, of course, that time. And even there is a story with it saying that because for people going into a restaurant and buying food was not really so easy, and it was a sign of no, not what I can explain it. For someone who cannot cook well, someone it was not an acceptable behavior at that time to buy food from someone.
Okay.
So the emperor and the empress made a decision to show that it's fine to have a restaurant that people can buy and can buy food that people can sell.
Okay.
So this hotel is really for that. Inside is really beautiful. Let's take just for a second. I have to put my mask.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1 second, please. Sir.
Okay.
Just just briefly. So I'll call. Oh, I have to push this rolling door.
Mm-hmm. It looks very nice. You're right.
Yes, yeah. So the stairs up here.
We don't hear you now. I don't know if it's the internet connection or something is...
Can you hear me?
Oh, now yes, now you come back.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you now. What is the name of the hotel? Do you hear me, Mola? Oj, nie jestem pewna, czy Mola mnie słyszy. A chcę się
Hello,
zapytać...
can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Do you hear me? Do you hear me, Mola? Może jak wyjdzie na zewnątrz, to będzie lepsze połączenie i będzie słychać. Bardzo...
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Do you hear me?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I don't know what's going on because I...
Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. And you hear
Sorry,
me?
I can't hear you. Can you check your mic, maybe? I can
I...
see you, but I cannot hear you.
That's strange. Let's give me a second.
Hello?
Do you hear me now?
Yes, now I can hear you. I can hear you now.
What a crazy morning, really. I was asking you,
Yeah.
what is the name of the hotel you show us?
It's called Taitu Hotel. Taitu Hotel.
Anita wrote that she was staying in this hotel when she was in Ethiopia.
Ah, interesting. And tell her that it has been refurbished. It has become even much better. The rooms have become better.
Uh-huh.
Because it used to be few years ago, it used to be owned by the government, but now it has been sold to a private company, so they have invested in it.
I think she was like a couple years ago, so now it's
Yeah.
renovated, as you said. So Anita, when
Yeah.
you will come back to Ethiopia and I read your comments that you would like to go to Ethiopia one more time, you can come back to this hotel and check how it changed.
Exactly. And I would recommend, instead of the hotel is nice, I mean historically, it's really nice place. But I would recommend the food. Usually we bring our clients for lunch after doing a city tour. So they have really nice lunch here. And the rooms may not be the best.
And now you are going to coffee shop, yeah?
No, the coffee shop we have left it because we drove through. We are going to our final destination. Our final destination to the hotel. So from here, if you see just in front of us, the the unit park which we have driven by, and also here you see some green space that is called the Friendship Square. It's huge with some what do you call some water pond and beautiful kind of amphitheater. We will drive on the right side, and then we go to our hotel, our
Okay.
final destination. So just to show you, you can see the construction going on all the way. Can you see some Ethiopian flag right in front of us? Maybe not. It may be too far for you. Yeah. So we are going there. But the park, which I told you, including the amphitheater, is called the Friendship Square, is here. In some parts of it is still under construction.
Okay.
Everyone agrees that it will be one of the best places to go in Addis Ababa.
Okay. Okay, so I think we're done, yeah?
Sorry?
we done, or you are going somewhere for the last
If you
thing?
can give me 2 more minutes or three,
Okay,
we
okay, that's
we
fine.
will go to our final destination. I hope that's okay for you.
Okay, that's fine. We are waiting.
Okay, good. But I thought after a very long tour, we would like to be in a nice, relaxing atmosphere. So that's the
Yeah,
main
for
reason I'm
sure,
going there.
for sure.
At least I will have the what you call, I will enjoy the cozy place there.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll join me as well.
Yeah, Anna wrote that it's worth to that she liked the trip. So thank you, Anna, very much, even with technical problem. And she wrote that it's worth to wait for this final point because it's worth to see this place.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Sure. Thanks for your patience. And until then, if you have a final question for me, hopefully we have touched most of the topics. But if
Yeah.
you have some final questions for me, you are absolutely welcome.
I think I asked you a homework question, which I was thinking. And can you? I'm not sure if you mentioned or not. How many people live generally in Ethiopia? Around.
Come again?
How many people live generally in Ethiopia?
In Ethiopia, we are as of 2019 census. The total census as of 2019 figure, we are 108 million. In
Mm-hmm.
Addis, about 5 to 6 million people are believed to be in Addis. So we are going to this hotel. Look on front of us. This is the Sheraton Addis Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of the most luxurious hotels in Ethiopia. So for I mean, most of the partners we work with, as you know, including yourself, we do from mid-range to high range. And this hotel is also one of our preferred hotels
Mm-hmm.
in Addis. So we are going into the hotel now. Hopefully, we will not be interrupted. As you can see, there is some wedding going on. You know, this is a wedding season. Today is
Ah.
the final day
Oh.
actually because yes, because the fasting season is coming up as of tomorrow. So
Uh-huh.
the wedding season is also yeah, we'll finish it today.
Ah, I see. So the last wedding can be today.
And then just a friend saying hello, hello. Yeah. So today is the last day. Yep.
The last day. And how
Yeah.
many days? How many days is a break for the wedding season? From which one month?
55 days. That's right.
50.
55
Okay.
days.
Okay.
So the fasting season will finish, of course, when we celebrate our Easter.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, we are stuck. Normally the
Mm.
exit is in another direction, but I don't know why they are allowing this road today. Maybe there are too many people inside.
Yeah, it can be as a wedding party.
Wedding party is big here. And nowadays, the wedding parties are become really big thing in Ethiopia as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. So we are going in now. I hope we'll find some parking space so we'll not take time.
The wedding guest already went, so maybe we'll find
No,
a
there are not.
place.
You can see thousands of cars here.
Yeah, it is true.
But we will ask a favor. Hopefully they will allow us just because we are going in for just for a minute or so.
It's a big property, isn't it?
Really huge, and also it's
Mm-hmm.
really beautiful. You can see the gate. It's
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
This is the property which you recommend for the corporate clients.
Corporate clients and also for as I said earlier for the luxury high end segment
Mm-hmm.
and for conferences. Yes, we do here. Ah, Okay, I'm sorry. I think I have to go to a parking space.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, you see. Okay, just 1 second. Okay, this will be
Yeah.
our final one. So I wish to show you. Just let me talk to him. ይቅርታ አልቆምም እና በአጋጣሚ እንትን ላይ ሆነ ጭራሽ
Macie, słuchajcie, zdecydowanie prywatną wycieczkę i
ከገባም በኋላ ይቻላል።
możliwość zwiedzania bardzo dużej ilości punktów w Addis Abeba.
All right. Okay, just give me 1 minute. I'm allowed to park here as we are not staying longer.
Okay,
I don't want to hold you. Then after I park, I come back later. And also,
okay,
as we go through the security check, we are not allowed to record. So I will not switch the camera off, but I will keep silent, and I cannot show off as well. So give me 1 second. Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Jak widzicie, Mola naprawdę się stara, żeby wam pokazać wszystko, co jest możliwe i wchodzi jakimiś tylnymi wyjściami, żeby nam pokazać wiele rzeczy, żeby nas na pewno zachęcić też do podróży do Etiopii i do Addis Abeba. We don't see anything. I don't know if it's good or not, Mola. Do you hear me, Mola? Because we don't see anything and now we don't hear you as well. Mola, do you hear me? Mola, do you hear me? Nie jestem pewna, czy mnie słyszy. Okej.
Okay, so
Wrócił.
hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, now we hear you. Really nice property. Different kind of the last one you show us. Mola mówił, że nie będzie mógł tutaj nic mówić, że musi być cicho. Ale chciał wam pokazać,
Hello,
jak wygląda. Yes, we hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Do you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, we hear you well. And you hear me? Hello. We see what you are showing us.
So yeah, this is the plan of the hotel. It's huge property size. It has very luxurious villas at the back, really beautiful apartment, main big buildings, and the swimming pool. And most importantly, they are best known for their brunch. I'm sure we will see people enjoying visit that. They have beautiful meeting halls. You can see people come here to relax, enjoy. I hope you will see.
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear. You hear me or not?
Hello.
We hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. I don't know what is going on.
Oh,
I hear
perfect.
you.
Okay, can
We
hear me?
hear you now. Yeah.
All right. So I just wanted to show you from one side, and this side is really huge, but at the same time, very, very beautiful hotel. This is one of the beautiful hotels in Addis. This used to be, nearly the best, but nowadays they are huge hotels under construction. Yeah, people come here to photograph and As I said earlier, for Sunday brunch, their breakfast is best known in the city. It has beautiful garden, has a beautiful villas, and usually worldly dignitaries, when they come here, they come to Shaya, the celebrities and politicians. Yeah, it's very, very beautiful place.
Yeah, it looks very beautiful. I don't know if you hear
Yes,
me or not.
let's see, hopefully we'll see. Very soon we'll
Yeah.
see the swimming pool. I know that we are doing some free promotion for hotels. What they deserve for being really nice or for being the best hotel in Addis. They deserve it. And also they are our preferred accommodation in Addis. I
Yeah, it's
mean, not
nice.
about the property and the buildings, the service is also world class, really. I think this is the service quarter. Ah, this is the gym as well, and the service quarter in this corner. The swimming pool, I think we need to work with each other. I hope you have the patience to work with me.
Mm-hmm.
So, but coming back again,
Can
but
you?
can you hear me? That's the question. Are you with me?
Yeah, we are. And do you hear me? Because I'm not sure. Hello. Do you hear me, Mola?
No, unfortunately, I can't hear you.
That's strange. Coś znowu chyba przerwało połączenie, ale no, Mola pokazał nam wszystkie możliwe rzeczy, jakie dzisiaj zaplanował, tak jak mówił na początku. Minęło już prawie 2 godziny naszego spotkania. Powiem szczerze, to jedyna z naszych 36 wirtualnych podróży, ponieważ ta była 36 albo 37. Już zgubiliśmy się trochę w kalkulacji. Nawet nie mieliśmy takiego poczucia wcześniej, że aż tyle spotkań przeprowadziliśmy. Zdecydowanie to było najdłuższe spotkanie, także dziękuję Wam bardzo za cierpliwość. Myślę, że Mola jeszcze będzie się chciał z Wami pożegnać, więc na sekundkę go tutaj podłączymy. Do you hear me now?
Now I can hear you, yes.
Okay, because I said that we almost 2 hours for our virtual trip, so I think it's time to say thank you to everybody who joined our virtual trip and for you that you show us a lot of things in Addis Ababa. So because it was the last stop, as I remember, yeah?
Yes, that's right. Thank you very much for your time as well, and I hope your audience and your clients will visit Ethiopia soon. I know usually with these technicalities and also me not being an expert or a tour guide, it will be much better in a way. And I hope you will visit Ethiopia very soon. And certainly there are so many things to do. And as a final say, quite a lot of people agree that Ethiopia is one of the most under-promoted countries in the world. And as you know, the feedback after traveling to Ethiopia is always positive because people will never find, or people find Ethiopia much better than what they expected. And I hope that you will enjoy this beautiful weather, beautiful landscape, And as I said earlier, one of the most friendliest people on earth.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate your time, that even if you are a very busy person, you found the time to show us a lot of part of Addis Ababa and talk about Ethiopia. So I hope that we can send together a lot of tourists to this beautiful country, and I'm sure that they will be happy that they will visit Ethiopia, because everybody who already met Ethiopia, who already been in Ethiopia, not met, they say that it's really amazing country and is definitely worth to visit. So thank you very much for this virtual trip.
Thank you very much. You too for organizing this. I wish you a very, very beautiful day.
Thank you.
Very
You
well.
too. You too. Thank
Bye.
you. Wam również dziękujemy za to, że byliście z nami prawie 2 godziny i oglądaliście wspólnie Addis Abeba, zadawaliście pytania. Oczywiście, jeżeli jakieś dodatkowe pytania się pojawią, śmiało piszcie w komentarzach, czy to wiadomości prywatnej, na wszystkie odpowiemy. No mam nadzieję, że pomimo tych technicznych problemów podobała Wam się ta dzisiejsza wycieczka. Z komentarzy tutaj widzę, że tak, że podobało Wam się pomimo tego, że gdzieś tam uciekał głos, czy zrywało się połączenie. No cóż, ja już teraz zapraszam Was serdecznie na kolejną wirtualną podróż. Wkrótce opublikujemy na naszym fanpage kierunek i czas tego spotkania i pragnę Wam życzyć miłej niedzieli. Dziękuję Wam bardzo jeszcze raz serdecznie.